Welcome back to another episode of Drink Tales, and today we got another review. This is gin this week. So, quick story about
it. Doesn't look like it, but it is.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but this is gin. Quick story about this. We were actually looking for something to do another Halloween-based cocktail out of. Ran up on this. And not only do we think it's going to work for what we want to do, but we get to review it as well. This is 4 Pillars Bloody Shiraz Gin. Gin with the natural flavor of Shiraz grapes.
So we're mixing wine and gin today.
Interesting notes I found from this one. So, like I said, this comes from Australia. This is an Australian gin company. They were voted the world's leading gin in 2019 and 2020. So they're moving up in the world.
Yeah, they got competition. Watch out, Tangeray. Gird your loins, Kendrick.
Yeah. Started in 2013. 3 friends got together and they said they wanted to make gin, so they did it.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah,
I wish it was just that easy.
They made their own stills. Their first original still was called Wilma, I believe. I can't remember, but
well, it says it right up here.
Well, yeah. Because they have several stills now, and this one was made from the stills of Wilma, Jude, and Beth. Another thing I learned that I thought was interesting is they use a lot of, local Australian spices and stuff to go in their stills to get their flavors, and they use a lot of citrus. They use a lot of every gin they make. They distill with citrus.
Interesting. I'm getting vibes of this reminds me a lot of Blended Family and Simple Man, and how they when they make their products, they get their products, the stuff that they make their alcohol from local farms in Georgia.
Yeah, this is what they do, except in Australia. And apparently this is the top gin in Australia. Not this flavor specifically, but because they make several other flavors. Although this one may be an Australian favorite, but apparently 4 Pillars is like the top gin in Australia, judging by what I read on the website. And this is the first time we've ever seen it in
that out of the way liquor store.
We went to an out of the way liquor store in Georgia, but we've never seen it in any of our local liquor stores. So I'm assuming it's spreading fast. It's distributed. It's imported from Park Street Imports in Miami, Florida. So it comes here it comes to Miami from Australia, and then from there they distribute it. We got some literature, me and literature on bottles. Oh, this is a vintage 2020, by the way. So this was made last year. This is a number 1 Yarra. Our home is the Yarra Valley, where our neighbors grow superb, cool climate grapes. Number 2 Shiraz. Every year during vintage, we source the best local Shiraz grapes we can find. Number 3 Saignee, Saignee. I don't know what that says. We craft this infused gin using a technique similar to that which is a French call Saignee, or bleeding, thus Bloody Shiraz. Number 4 Sweet. Whole Shiraz grapes are steeped for 8 weeks, then pressed to release a gin infused with the natural sweetness, color, and flavor of the grapes. Sounds good. Sounds like they're making wine rather than gin, but I guess it's the best of both worlds. And that's what got us intrigued by it, that it was a Shiraz gin, because we had never heard of that before. So now we're going to taste it, I guess.
We are.
And see what we got. got?
So, off the rip, I have questions. Well, a question. And I'm guessing, since they use a lot of, since they incorporate citrus, and for this one in particular, grapes, will we get that juniper flavor that's associated with gin?
I don't know, because I didn't read anything about juniper, but I didn't like read. Like, I just went over the finer points of their website, and they didn't mention juniper on the bottle, so.
Okay. Let's pop this baby open. I'm interested in what it's gonna smell like, because I'm wondering if we'll get a wine-like smell, or will it linger towards a gin-like smell?
Right.
Or will it be something in between, or something completely different? Gin. You get that?
Oh yeah.
You get that
juniper.
Bloody Shiraz.
Pass me that paper towel.
We got 4 Pillars Bloody Shiraz. Let's do it.
Oh wow. I wasn't expecting it to be that flavorful.
So they wear their grape flavor on their sleeve. So let's talk. Comparing this with, because we've had other gins on here before. So I'm gonna bring up a few that come to mind. We got Simple Man's Gullah Geechee Gin. We have Indoggo Gin, Snoop's Gin. We also have Ophir. It's an Indian gin.
The one thing those three have in common is that they're not regular gin. They're flavored gin.
They're flavored gin. Now, with the Indoggo Gin, you get more of the flavor than any juniper notes. Like, the goal with that one is clearly to mix with gin and juice and other cocktails and stuff like that. Like, that is literally your goal. Now, you can drink it on its own, but if we had to scale it, between 1 and 10, 1 being drinking it on your own, 10 being drinking it in a mixed drink, Indoggo is gonna move more towards 8, 9, and 10 on that scale.
Right.
Now, using that scale with the others, Ophir is kind of unique in the sense that it's a gin, but it has a peppery.
It has that peppery taste that you could tell their goal was to enhance gin drinks.
But also, and look at this, and I'm gonna hit you with this. That gin, I feel, is made for specific drinks that are out of the wheelhouse of regular gin drinks. Prime example, I believe this drink is it's called like the Red Snapper or something like that. I could be wrong, but there's a Bloody Mary variant that uses gin. And because of what Bloody Marys are made with, that Ophir works perfect for that. Now, you could feasibly make other drinks like, that Opier with gin and tonics is like chef's kiss superb. And any other gin and tonic I've had with it, that's like a regular gin, like just doesn't measure up. But we're going off topic. The point I'm trying to say is like, if you put Opier on that scale, like, it's kind of, I want to say it's in the middle, but it can waver either way. And last but not least, you have the Gullah Geechee, and I would say it leans in the middle. I feel like this leans towards.
So let me give you what I think about this gin, because when I tasted it, it did take me aback. I wasn't expecting the flavor that I got. I wasn't expecting a lot of flavor.
I wasn't expecting a sweet flavor.
Yeah, it's sweet. I want to border on saying too sweet, but I think it's sweet enough. You get a little bit of licorice taste, in my opinion.
Really?
And I think
it's subtle, but I get it. And I think it's because of the juniper and the grape flavor.
Yeah. Interesting enough, this gin, in my opinion, is the type of gin that you eat hors d'oeuvres and charcuterie with.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I would attribute that to its wine flavoring.
Yeah, because I drank this. When I taste this, right after that, I was like, I could go for some brie or some kind of deli meat.
Yeah,
like it's definitely,
I craved cheese and deli meat as well.
It's definitely a gin like that. I can see where its prestige is coming from, because it is different as hell. I'm curious to try their other flavors, because they have like 3 other flavors that I saw, maybe even more. But I'm curious to try their other flavors. But this is and this is something, not that other gins don't accomplish this, but I've never seen a gin that to me stuck out as this is a charcuterie gin.
Yeah.
And that's unique to me. Am I keen on the taste? Kinda. This is because that scale you just created a little bit ago. I can't place it because on the one hand, I feel like it needs to be mixed. It needs to be in mixed drinks. But on the other hand, yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think this needs to be mixed. I think this is a cocktail gin, or this is a gin that works better in cocktail.
I'm gonna say this. You're pretty much right about that. But I also think this needs to specifically be mixed with citrus.
Yeah.
I feel like citrus will pull this along. Not that it needs the help, because this is flavorful as hell, but I feel like citrus will pull this along to new heights depending on.
But it's already got citrus in it.
It
they
does.
put citrus in everything, in all their stuff.
It does, but like if you're mixing a drink with it, like I feel like it has to go with lime. Like if you're doing a gin and tonic with this, it's not gonna be just a gin and tonic. Like you throw some lime juice.
Now I do think some tonic. I do think this would make a very interesting gin and tonic. I think the tonic would temper this, which is what I think it needs. Like you're a trooper if you drink this straight up, not because of alcohol content, but to me it's just a little too sweet. I think being in a gin and tonic does temper it well.
Now, when you looked at this, did you see any drink recipes?
Drink recipes. Off rip, no. but I'm sure with time, I could probably come up with something.
No, I mean when you went on their website. Oh, did you see anything? Because I'm gonna come up.
They do have recipes, but I didn't look at them.
Okay, I'll have to look at it then, because I do want to see what they have, and if they do a gin and tonic and what that looks like. Because I'm pretty sure it's not just you put your gin, you put your tonic, throw a lime in there and move on. I'm pretty sure they add like 1 or 2 extra ingredients to make that drink pop. And that was one of the things lately I've been on like a gin and tonic kick, to where every restaurant we've gone to, well, not everyone, but like at the very least, when I go to a restaurant, I see what they're doing as far as gin and tonics are concerned. If I see a gin and tonic variant on there, I want to try it because I want to see what they're going with. And usually, depending on the gin, like they'll add their extra ingredient is usually like a vegetable or fruit or something, or like an amount of liqueur that they throw in there.
But this is definitely, I'm not gonna lie, one of the more unique things we tasted on the show. I don't want to say by a mile, but close enough. Like, I was not expecting the flavor.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what I was gonna expect.
You know, I honestly was expecting like a little, like, I didn't expect it to be so sweet. That's what it was for me. I wasn't expecting that flavor, and it's not necessarily bad. It's just, I would say it's an acquired taste, and I will say this: it's definitely, I feel it's definitely something of a challenge that expert mixologists would enjoy trying to use. I think a mixologist worth their salt would love to get their hands on this and see what they can do with this. Because you mentioned vegetables and stuff, and I'm thinking, you know, this might be something that you call it a red snapper, or you say there's like a Bloody Mary variant with gin.
Yeah. And I want to say it's called the red snapper, but I could be wrong.
I can see this being, maybe not that cocktail in particular, but I can see this being in a mixed drink where the garnish is some kind of vegetable.
Yeah, but what?
I don't know.
Because
I have
you
no idea.
also got to take into consideration, because like, for example, like with gins, like you want to pair it up with like, I don't know if you noticed, but like a lot of times, like they do like cucumber in their drinks when they want to do a refreshing gin spritzer, like spritz-esque drink. Like they do cucumber and some other leafy garnishes and stuff like that, or whatever they can find that they can put in there. Mint is another one. It's more of a what do you call it? Not a spice, but an amarettic. I think you're using the wrong word in that, but it could be that I've had a long day and I'm not thinking straight. But it's more of a I can't think of the word. Cause basil is one. No, I don't know. Like you grow them in your yard.
Herb?
Yeah, there you go. Took a lot out of me. Mint is more of a herb. And ingredients like that go well with gin because of the juniper and the fact that gin on its base is one of the more, if I had to describe it, and I know this will seem unfair because if you know the process of any other alcohol out there and how it's made and what it's made with, gin to me is the more floral of the spirits. Like, you're gonna wear that influence. It wears that influence on its sleeve with the fact that you taste the juniper. Like, I could say with all honest intention, like, if you're drinking a rum, you're not gonna like taste the sugar cane.
Right.
The rum may be sweeter than normal, but you're getting a more alcohol-esque taste out of it. And you're tasting you're getting several other flavor notes in there depending on the process they went through to distill it and all of that type of thing. Like, for example, like, you can get coffee and caramel notes out of your rum or whiskeys and stuff like that. But like with gin, unless it's made with a different process like this, then you're like, it's mostly floral. You're tasting juniper and maybe other things, but the juniper is going to be forward.
And the juniper is there, but the grapes definitely come out more.
Like, they are, I do feel they are fighting for attention, but I don't think it's in a bad way. It's more of, they're holding hands.
Yeah.
They're not hugging. They haven't fused with each other. They're holding hands and saying, you can come play with us.
Well, I just know for me, this is a situational gin, and when I mean situational, I mean like, this is I'm sitting on the couch eating, cause like I said, when I drank this, I instantly said, Jesus Christ,
it covers angles.
I need brie, I need salami, and I need crackers.
This gin covers angles and corners that a regular gin would miss or gloss over. Like, you could eat those things with like Tanqueray or another base gin, but like, this was made specifically for that, and that alone, and maybe a couple of other things, but you know, this is what you want to eat your cheese with.
So do you have any ideas? Because remember, originally we bought this with the intent of doing a Halloween themed cocktail.
Well, I'm just gonna spoil it now. We are leaning into vampire territory with this, because I do want that red. I do want to showcase that red color, that dark red color, and you know, we'll play off the vampire stereotypes of them drinking wine. It's usually port, but I mean, close enough.
Okay. And what would you rate this?
You know, I'm gonna give it, and I'm probably gonna regret this, but an 8.5. And the reason I think I'm gonna regret it is because I feel like it's a 9.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's a 9.
I'm gonna give it a 7. and that isn't saying anything. It's not my favorite gin. In my opinion, there are other gins that I like better than this. Like I said, this one is situational as hell for me. Like, it's not gross or disgusting or anything. If it was, I'd give it a 1. But
I mean, sometimes specific situations taste better than the original.
That's fair.
I mean, you like the old Peter, and that's, to me, situational. But it's a little less situational than this, because you know, some of the drinks that you could make with it, the only real difference that you would get out of them is that peppery note.
Right.
And you can work around a peppery note. This, you know, it is specific. I'm not even gonna lie on that. But, you know, I would still mess with it. Would you get another bottle after this ran out? That's a question. Like, would you?
It would be a while before I got another bottle. I think I would rather get another. I think I would rather get a bottle of another flavor of theirs before I get another bottle of this.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe next time we review another flavor of theirs,
Yeah.
if we can find. Did you see any other flavors?
I only saw this one.
Okay, so we need to see the other flavors.
Right. But with that said and done, that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you're notified of all content coming to the channel. Also, check us out on Instagram, check us out on Twitter, and check us out on Facebook.
Drinks, liquor, food, alcohol, all of those things that we like. If you know something that you think we would like, hit us up in our DMs, tell us about it, point us in the direction where they could be.
That includes locations. Specifically, let's talk about Las Vegas. We're going to be in Las Vegas in like 2 weeks. So we need to know where what bars to go to. We need to know what restaurants to go to. I mean, we got lists of these things. But, we want to hear from you guys, especially if you're out in Vegas.
Exactly.
Is there a food truck we need to hit up? Is there some ice cream out there we need to hit up? Let us know.
Is there like a secret spot that like you go under the desert to look for?
Exactly.
That has, like, the tastiest.
Is there a spot like out in the desert, like a little bit past Vegas, past the strip that we need to go?
I was told just stay in the strip.
But the part of Drink Tales is adventuring. That's why I asked. But let us know. And if you're a bartender or mixologist or anything in Vegas and you check out the channel, hit us up. Let us know if you're going to be spinning drinks that weekend.